back, my imaginary viewers. Just wanted to show this place, the edge of the Redwood. Here at this corner. You got green obelisk nearby around there. That area, I believe. Down that way. And I know red's way over there, but you're kind of like on a river. It kind of gives you away. Unless you really need to go inland for anything specific. Your main mode of travel to get around the map, if you got a long distance to go, just take rivers until, if you need to get over, say, to the winter biome, you know, go up river to a point where you got the shortest amount of land to travel across between biomes, from river to river. But anyways, I feel this is a decent location, a decent sort of semi-central location. Haven't been in here when I finished that. Got a nice little bookshelf. Crafted me a recipe here for a super Sammy. And as you can see there, gives you a 40.21875 food, 63 stamina, and 38 health. It was showing a lot more when I actually made it. Yeah. Not much. I have tamed a Tapahara without the chain bola. If you're lucky enough to come upon one and not disturb it, because you, you know, recognize its nice little crest on its head, you just crouch, creep slow, inch forward slowly, and with your tranq dart, make sure you shoot him, like, in the ribs while he's still grounded. You won't kill him. I did a little test before with a different character, and it turned out that it seems, yes, you kill flyers when tranking them when they're flying. But when they're grounded, walking around on the ground, you can trank them out. Now, I went in to get the artifacts, the artifact of the massive, after getting the hunter and I believe the clever, so I could take on Broodmother. I went in to get to the cave for the artifact of the massive. I made it all the way to it with my raptor Lucky, my very first tame. You know, he was lucky that I tamed him instead of killing him. And well, we're jumping over the last little divide, you know, and well, he decides he just wants to land at the very edge, and he fell down into the lava. I jumped off him before getting in. I land at the edge. And I'm just watching him get damaged, so I run out, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Lucky. Because, you know, I don't have any cryopods to save him. And I never, ever, ever see the message that he died, so I think somehow he must have hopped out, and I'm going to go back there eventually. If it's that way. I will eventually go back there and see if he's in there. But I built this base finished here at the edge of the Redwood. I was able to put a facility here for crafting. I've got an industrial forgener, chemistry bench, fabricator, smithy. I have a mortar and pestle and a cooking pot in the house in case I really need a mortar and pestle just to do small time stuff. I used wood poles. I laid them out. What I did is I did the one block per with this laying them apart, and then erased every 3. Like I did a 1 block apart, and then went in between, destroyed each one in between till they were like 2 blocks apart, and then went in and destroyed every next one in between those ones until the poles were that far apart. And I had to stretch that one only that far because I only needed cables to go to those lights, so the pole only went that far for the wood pole. But I kind of got electric line poles for my generator room right there. I got a generator in there, and there's a refrigerator in that little hut for storing kibble and other necessary foods for breeding, feeding your babies. When I lost Lucky, I come out the cave, well, I had to tame something, and good thing I didn't put my club away. Or no, I didn't use my club. I had my trank gun. I had the long neck on me. I tranked a packy, made a packy saddle, threw that on there. Trying to make my way back, level him up so I could put a little speed on the packy, get moving faster. Well, I saw this stego. I thought, what the hell, maybe I'll just knock him out. So I did. I knocked him out. And I got me a stego to move a little faster and get back home. Now, I did some breeding. I did find a few parasaurs, and then we started with Tina was I first tamed Kendra. No, Tina. Tina after Lucky. And Tina's a dude, and so is Kendra. I tried to mate Billy Joe with Tina, and I just didn't get any good results. So I just stopped mating Tina into the family line. I got Kendra, which I mated with Butch. I found Butch at level 74, or I tamed her, 60 something, tamed up to 74, and then I got her to level 126. Mated her with Kendra, and then I got Michelle and Billy Joe. They're the first offspring of Kendra and Butch. I first got Michelle, then I got Billy Joe. I mated Michelle with his mother Butch, and tried to mate Billy Joe with Tina to mate the offsprings of those together, but I just, like I said, I didn't like the results of their offspring, so I stopped mating them together. So then I mated Michelle with Butch, and we got Jimmy John. And then I mated Billy Joe with Kendra. And I know I got Kendall as a result. No, I mated Jimmy John. We got Michelle. We got Jimmy John from Michelle and Butch. And then I mated Jimmy John with her grandfather Kendra, and got Kendall. And then from there, so Kendall's a male and Jimmy John's a female. I got Marmalade out of Jimmy John. Yeah. I got Marmalade because I made it another. Where's my book? I wrote down the lineage in my notebook. Marmalade's a girl and Rosie's a boy. And then I just stopped because I was just experimenting breeding. I wasn't really breeding for a useful purpose. I was just testing out and seeing, if I can actually successfully breed on it and try to get mutations. Now I got a few color mutations that really aren't registering as mutations, because starting with Billy Joe and Michelle, Billy Joe got the white markings of, like the white belly markings of the mother, where the stripes underneath is more whitish. And Kendra's is more lime greenish, which Michelle got the lime green. And then it went back to the white. They kept the colors of the mother, but at the lime. And then Marmalade and Rosie have white markings on their belly, but they're orange. Now, don't ask me why I named him Chuck Berry's the Stego. Kinda, you know, a little bit for Chuck Berry, you know. And if I ever find another Stego, I'm gonna try to find a female and name her after maybe a girl that's mentioned as a title for one of his songs. And then, when they mate and they have children, I'm gonna name all the baby Stegos after the different birds in the Rockin' Robin song that Chuck Berry has. So we'll have Chickadee, Oriole, maybe the firstborn. If it's a son, he'll name him Rockin' Robin. And we got this nice little base. I did, oh, I must have got tired. I wasn't paying attention to the stamina. Like I showed you the reservoir before. Built this little thing here. Just a set of stairs walking up. 2 foundations just so like it could solidify that. It gives it sort of a immersively supportive structure. Like it has structural integrity. And window here and all the way up, just no roof, because you know, you'll see why. Up. And you can't just, well, oh, I guess you can at that little corner. How many times I've tried to go up there, I've always had to jump. Huh. Now I know what angle I can approach that to always never have to jump. Came up, put these tree platforms on. Yes, I did build it in creative mode because I'm not taking this one seriously. I'm just testing out game mechanics with the creative mode, see how I can build things, experiment, catch myself up, since I know how long it's gonna take to actually do it for real and legit. Built it all the way around. I took in the center here, at the very edge, I evened out, took and put a square foundation block, laid it down, and at each center all the way around, and then from there I did one on each side and a triangular foundation at the edge. I just did the stairs to come down to the platform, so you know, leaving enough space. We got sap taps here. And then this here, I mainly was just probably gonna leave it bare for just landing on. Or using as a kind of a lookout post and a lookout over my base. From this angle at least. So I wanted to come up here so I could show you how I did the roofing there. I took and did the slope roofs at the end. I continued to extend at least one off the edge of each, and it gave it that sort of like angled shutter look on the roof. It's really neat, I would say. Awkward but neat. I like it. I really like how it turns out like that because of the angle it cuts it. It just looks, you know what I mean? You catching that? Kind of also gives it kind of a shielded look, like it's extra shielding to block out projectiles. I mean, even though it's wood, but on an official server, obviously the settings for structural damage would be set that, you know, that would be gone. Lickety split. I have my structural damage turned completely off and disabled right now. I wonder how far I can jump down and not die. I did set affinity stats up. Give you so when I leveled up, I could see how fortitude's 228. Yeah. You could pretty much withstand up to the most extreme elements. Extreme heat, yep, you're screwed even with, Gillion, but, you're not going to be able to walk through fire or go deep into that one frozen cave in the snow biome for that one artifact. Even with fortitude that high, you're still going to freeze a little bit. But it doesn't debilitate you as much or kill you as fast as it would if your fortitude was, say, under 100. Yeah, nice little tree base. Now I know that legitimacy of using stone on a wood platform immersively, that's just a bit too heavy, and you know the rest. It'll start feeling like London Bridge, All comes falling down. Oh yeah, and the Tapihara I tamed while tranking as she was grounded. I named her Queen Elysia. I really love the flight mechanics of the Tapihara. Plus with lots of experience with RC helicopters and drones, and also actual real helicopter flight simulation training. Kind of get that easy little push. You have the knowledge, the ease, flight mechanics, understanding, and then applying whatever I can to this manner, the function, the joysticks. It's just applying the knowledge to the material or tool you have to control it. I really don't like killing herbivores unless I absolutely need meat or hide. When it comes to actual, like, attacking to attack, to kill, I'd rather go after carnies. Little itch in my throat. I like to use Delta 10 THC from hemp. I get the vapable nectar. Okay, that's a Triceratops, so I should have been able to see that even from that far. Passed a few packer rhinoceros. So I wasn't sure if that was another one, because it didn't quite render in fully yet. haven't come across any Giganotosaurus in this yet. And I wanted to test out how Queen Elysia did against the Giganotosaurus. You know, come fly in on its backside, attack, and then back out and away, and strafe around and try to keep on its backside and just peck at its ass. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but I've noticed this, that your creatures tend to die faster when you stab them in the backside, especially, you know, the anal or genital area. When you stab and attack the creatures in the anal or genital areas, they tend to die faster. That seems to be the most vulnerable vital spots on the creatures in game. It definitely noticed a difference. That was before I turned the damage settings up. Ooh, here we go. Yo, mama. Look for a few more, then I'll put an end to this video. That edge of the Redwood place gives you a nice little spot, safe from Thylacoleo attack most of the time. You know, right at the edge, get a nice little spot to quickly get some tree sap. No, that's an iguanodon. Was wondering if that was a baryonyx, but I got some mushops over there running. That way. Oh, he's getting chased by a car now. Hey, why don't you pick on somebody your own size? Let me get some. Let me get some. Oh, you like that? You like to pick on the small guy? Right in your ass. That's how you take a bite out of crime. Yeah, I came at that one a little too boldly. I didn't assess. One piece? One piece? Come on, Big Daddy. Come on. Come on. Where's you, Big Mama? Not so tough after all. Feast, my fiends! I like that one. In the neck. Boom. I'm not quite sure, but I think I tend to notice some vulnerability in the neck regions of the Brontos and the other sauropods. Not quite entirely sure if that is a game mechanic or not, but there appears to be some vulnerability in the neck region. Terror bird! I'm part of the island's anti-terror group. You, sir, were a terror bird. I had to put an end to you. got enough Therizinosaur claws. I don't really need it. Show off a little bit of my Tapihara flight skills. Pteranodon, Pteranodon, I'll make sure that you are gone. Dimorph. Hey, Dimorphodon. I want you. I want you. I'm just playing. I just wanted to scare the crap out of you. Yeah. My first time even getting on even a PvE server. I should have known not to go official, because it wasn't even 2 minutes in the game. Somebody came up, knocked me out, threw me in a cage, and I said, nope, bye. And they've been, I straight exited, never went back in, so I wonder how long they kept an inactive character captive. The only reason why I won't go back to it, because, you know, to me, in my opinion, that's bullying, and, well, you know, if in order for me to have to deal with it, I'm gonna have to do something about it. I don't like bullies. I like to punish bullies. Being bullied most of my life, yeah. I wasn't the kind of person to just let people bully me just because I'm, you know, skinny, a little bit lanky, you know. I'm tall, but I'm very thin. And people think because of my small stature that I'm a pushover, that I'm just gonna submit because I'm small and I'm afraid to get beat up. Yeah, when you had a tough father like I do, I don't think much physical harm is gonna scare me into submission. It's just gonna piss me off. So I've cultivated myself while growing up this anti-bully attitude, and like that's just how I deal with bullies. I bully them back. And two wrongs don't make a right, but you know, sometimes the bully ain't never gonna stop. Either one, you show them some love and kindness, and if that just goes nowhere with them when they continue to bully you, beat on you, well, you're just gonna have to beat them back. Fight them back. You know, some people, when they're small, don't always mean they're weak. I turned out to be a very, 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 very tough person. I'm not quite particularly strong as in applying strength, you know, pushing and making impact, doing damage, but I am very, very tough, and I can take a lot of damage. Physically. But there's a particular part about bullying that damages, let's say, the social emotional interaction between people, and like, well, that's just the type of damage that's so irreparable that you just cannot allow it. Where, yes, sometimes. Whereas you have to remain in heart in the essence that violence is not the answer, but sometimes is a necessity. Do we just allow violent aggressors to just vehemently run rampant, killing anyone they wish? Or, you know, do we have to put a stop to them? Whereas I wish that we didn't have to use the conventional lethal methods that we do with using firearms, you know, just killing each other, you know, and where there is that one aspect of, you know, those who live by the sword shall die by the sword. Once again, even then, how can you prosecute and put them to justice? The world's too far rife with conflict and violence, you know, as a means, as a answer to solve everything on large scale. Just like why people think they have to go to war over money, over resource, over territory. And yes, I'm talking about the instigators. The ones with no moral sense of right and wrong. How to get them to understand there's no need for all that. And that if it weren't for overconsumption and gluttony, there'd be plenty enough to go around for everyone. So here we are, we have economies all around the world scraping everything they can to get by and survive. In the failing system. And somebody, please go save that poor elderly man, Joe Biden, from the abuse they're putting him through, forcing him to work as a president. That's geriatric abuse, man. Somebody go save that poor elderly man, Joe Biden. They're forcing him to do that extra strenuous work, putting him through all that stress. Somebody needs to save Joe Biden. That's geriatric abuse. And with my little final share of opinion and views of the world, we shall call this an end. Shall we, Queen Alicia? Shall we conclude? No, we shall not conclude. And that's it. Alright, everybody. Have a good one.